Again, last week we looked at singular AR verb endings and how we conjugate or change AR verbs so that they match the pronoun or the noun that's the subject of the sentence. So this week we're going to look at the plural AR verb endings. And it follows a very similar pattern, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you guys to figure out. First of all, we look at the pronouns that we had. These were the plural pronouns that we learned just the other day. So nosotros or nosotras for we, of course using the AS ending for groups of all girls only. Ustedes for you all, if you're doing saying like you guys. Ellos and ellas for they. Again, ellas is used for groups of only all girls. So we make our stem. We learned this before. We take off the AR. So the examples I have here, the stem for gritar would be grit. The stem for saltar would be salt. And the stem for llorar would be llor. Okay, so it's everything minus the AR. Then you look at your pronoun, okay, and we have 5 plural pronouns in Espanol that we're going to be using. Notice how all of them end in an S. Nosotros, nosotras, ustedes, ellos, ellas. This is what makes them plural, okay? So each pronoun has a specific ending that goes with it. So we use amos for nosotros or nosotras, because again, remember, our verb endings don't care if it's a masculine or a feminine group or a person. The verb endings will stay the same. So nosotros or nosotras both use amos. Everything else uses an. So ustedes, ellos, ellas, they all use an. So there's only 2 plural endings for AR verbs. So you just have to remember which one goes with which, see? So then I would put this, the verb stem and the ending together. So let's say I want to say they work. I would use the verb trabajar, since that means to work. I take off my AR, and it gives me the stem trabaj or trabaj. It looks like that. My pronoun would be ellos, since I want to say they in this case. Don't know if it's a group of all male or female, so when in doubt, use the male pronoun. My ending that matches ellos would be an, and I just put that on the end. So then it becomes ellos trabajan, they work. So let's try some of these together. So Miguel y yo, I would use I want to say Miguel and I paint. Now I could also replace Miguel y yo with the pronoun nosotros, because that means we. So these are exactly the same. It's just 2 different ways of saying the same thing. Pintar, I would just take off the AR, since that is the ending, and I'm left with the stem P-I-N-T, pint. And then because the pronoun or subject of the sentence is nosotros or we, I'm going to use amos, A-M-O-S. So Miguel y yo pintamos. Miguel and I paint or we paint. Alicia y yo. Now in this case, it's a group of girls, so we're going to assume that the yo is a girl. So I could replace this with nosotras, since it's female. And I want to say Alicia and I yell loser, perdedor. So I'm going to use the verb gritar. I'm going to take off that AR ending, and I'm left with the stem G-R-I-T, grit. And then again, I'm going to use amos, because it's the same ending whether it's nosotros or nosotras. So Alicia y yo gritamos perdedor, or you could say nosotras. So again, these mean the same thing. It's just this one's a little more specific as it has a name that goes with it. This one just is a more general we. Tú y Graciela, we want to say you and Graciela enter the class. Okay. Now because it has that tú y Graciela, this would be the plural you. Okay, so I'm going to say you and somebody else. So I'm going to use ustedes, because that's the plural form of you, like you all or you guys. And then I'm going to change entrar, so it has an an on the end, because that's the ending that matches ustedes, or a plural group of people that I'm talking about here. So tú y Graciela entran la clase. This one I want to say Pablo and Marco ski. Okay, I could also replace these 2 boys' names with ellos, since it's all boys. And again, I'm going to use the AN ending for a group of people. Okay. So esquían. Pablo y Marco esquían. In this case, I've got Sarah and Lisa, or I could say ellas. I could replace both of these names with the pronoun ellas. I want to say they cry a lot. So I'm going to use the verb llorar, take off the AR and add that AN ending. Sara y Lisa lloran mucho. Or I could say ellas lloran mucho. It would mean the same thing. In this case, I have a boy and I have a girl, so Juan y Maria. So I would use ellos. Since I have a muchacho, I've got to go with the male pronoun. And I want to say they jump on the trampoline. So I'm going to use saltar, since that means to jump. I'm going to use the AN ending, since that was the ending that matches ellos. Juan y María, or ellos, saltan en el trampolín. All right, muy bien. So there's a fun little music video that goes along with this. It's going to help us review our endings for yo and tú and él and ella as well. So here we go. Mi gente, reggae style. Tú sabes, nos fuimos. Come on. O, as, a, vamos, an. Otra vez. O, as, a, vamos, an. Otra vez. O, as, a, vamos, an. Otra vez. O, as, a, vamos, an. Come on. Yo hablo, tú hablas y usted habla. Nosotros hablamos y ustedes hablan. Yo hablo, tú hablas y ella habla. Nosotros hablamos y ellos hablan. Yo trabajo en la clase de matemáticas. Él estudia en la clase de inglés. Ellos dibujan en la clase de arte. Nosotros escuchamos en la clase de español. ¡Nos fuimos! O, as, a, vamos, an. Otra vez. O, as, a, vamos, an. Otra vez. O, as, a, vamos, an. Otra vez. O, as, a, vamos, an. Come on. Created using Powtoon. All right, so we'll continue to practice using these different endings on our verbs and practicing them along with our singular pronouns as well, so that we can keep them straight in our minds. We'll do some activities in class and on Canvas as well. Adios.